Hello, scholars. Welcome back to the Greatmen online learning. Today, we are going to learn chapter 13, that is water and weather. So, in this chapter, we are going to learn about different forms of water and changing weather. So, as you know, there are three forms of water. What are they? They are ice, water, and water vapor. And the water changes its form on heating and on cooling. As you bring out ice cubes from the refrigerator, they turn into liquid. And then again, when you heat the liquid, the water changes into steam. And on cooling the steam, you can collect the water droplets on the lid of the pan, right? And these water droplets, when frozen, we get ice. So water changes its form on heating as well as on cooling. And these are the three forms of water. So let's learn what is water cycle. So in nature too, water keeps changing its form. Okay, and it is this change that forms clouds and rain. First, when the sun shines, water from the water bodies like rivers, ponds, lakes, and oceans heats up and rises in the form of water vapor. And this is called evaporation. And high up in the sky, what happens? This water vapor comes in contact with cold air and it cools down to form tiny drops of water. This is called condensation. And these tiny drops come together to form clouds. Okay, and on cooling further, these tiny drops become heavy and fall as rain. This is called precipitation. And the rainwater flows back to the rivers, ponds, lakes, and oceans, as you can see in the picture. And the cycle of change is called the water cycle. Now let's learn how the weather changes, the changing weather. You must have heard about the words stormy, sunny, partly cloudy, hot, it's cold outside, snowy, rainy, windy, and cloudy. So, what all these words refer to? These words refer to the sun, the wind, the clouds, and the rain. So, these all things sun, winds, clouds, and the rain decides the weather. And in India, we have three main seasons. They are winter, summer, and monsoon. And however, even during one season, the weather changes from day to day and sometimes from hours to hours. Now let's see how the sun affects the weather. So during morning and evening, you will notice that the rays of sun are slanting. They are not straight. This is because the sun is low in the sky. As you can see in the picture, at around 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. in the morning and in evening, you will notice that the rays of sun are not straight. They are slanting. Okay. And at noon, the sun is overhead. Around 12 p.m., the sun is overhead and the rays fall straight. That's why noon is considered the hottest part of the day. And it is not so hot during morning and evening. So in winters, you like the warmth of the sun, you like to be out in the sun, but in summers this is just opposite. You do not like to go out in the daytime. Now let's see how the wind affects the weather. So when the wind blows gently, so it is called a breeze. And when the strong wind blows, it is called storms. The strong winds cause storms. And storms can uproot the trees, as you can see in the picture. and can blow off the roofs of house. And the thunder, lightning, wind, and rain, these all can make up a storm. Now let's see how the clouds affect the weather. As you can see in the picture, on certain days, clouds block the sun rays, and since the rays cannot reach us, so it is not very hot during the day. But the cloudy nights are warmer. Why? This is because clouds do not allow the heat of the earth to escape back to the atmosphere. And some clouds, as you can see, bring rain. So this is the way the clouds affect the weather. Now let's see how the rain affects the weather. So when it rains, the part of the earth on which it rains, where the rain falls, becomes cool, and the farmers welcome the rain when it falls at the right time. However, too much of rain can cause flood, and floods damage crops, buildings, and roads, as you can see in the picture. And floods harm the living beings. So, and in some places in India, they experience drought due to lack of rain. So, if droughts last longer, plants, animals, and human beings may die due to lack of food and water. Now, let's see how weather affects our lives. So, what we wear, eat, enjoy depends on the weather, and the weather decides what we wear. In sunny season or in the summer season, you like to wear cotton clothes or loose clothes. In rainy season, you do not like to go out, but whenever you go out, you wear with raincoats. And at the snowy times in the winters, you like to wear woolen clothes, right? So the weather decides what you wear. And the weather also decides the type of house we live in place where the weather is hot, the houses have thick walls and flat roofs, and in the places where it rains a lot and the climate is hot and damp, the houses are built on stilts, and the sloping roofs of houses on hills do not allow rainwater or snow to collect and make the houses damp and cold. And weather also affects what we eat. And in places where it rains a lot, people grow and eat rice because a crop of rice needs a lot of water. So, now you know that the weather affects our lives. It decides our food, clothing, and activities. So, let's see what all things we have learned today. We have learned that the weather depends on the sun, the wind, the clouds, and the rain. And the weather changes from day to day and sometimes from hour to hour. And whatever we eat or wear, that depends on the weather. So I hope you would have understood the topics. So the assignment related to the chapter, the exercises and the question answers, you can find below in the description box. So take care of yourself and your family. Thank you.